So I saw this, and I went and I was watching it, and I think the problem why people don't really believe this stuff is because of movies. I remember watching a show on Netflix, and this is really getting me. Okay, I watched. There was a time when I was into all sorts of horror flicks, and I, my daughter and me watched not all of them. God finally smacked me in my face on that one, but the American Horror Stories. I used to watch Netflix all the time, and I always was interested in the originals. And I can't stand. I won't watch that. I don't even have a TV anymore. Yuck, gross. But there is an original called The Platform. There was also an original called The Circle. Why did he force his victims to watch Netflix? I saw that on one of the things that's one of the victims said that he would force them to watch Netflix for hours and hours. Right? Who owns Netflix? Right? Anyway, where did they come up with the ideas for these movies? The movie, The Platform, it reminds me of this thing that they're talking about, this prison with the okay? Truly, most of the Netflix originals are social propaganda meant to implant seeds, meant to desensitize, meant to gaslight, meant to influence, right? But many of them, it's like they're trying to, so they call it, I mean, there's terms for it if you whatever they call it, but I can't remember the terms now, darn it. Project something anyway, Mockingbird, something like that. My point is, though, that they make those movies based on what they're already doing. And by you watching the movies, you become desensitized. You unknowingly come into an agreement with it because you're not objecting to it. So you're kind of like aiding and abetting. And when the truth does come out, people don't believe it. People, it's probably just a movie because they've already seen it in movie form. Hostel, Saw. Here's a sick one. The Human Centipede. And that, whoever created that story is evil. Okay? Why doesn't anybody question where these movies come from? Whose mind is thinking up this sickness? The American Horror Story series on Netflix. Man, if you want to know how our country came to what it came to, and how come kids are so confused and there's so much evil, that has been influencing our youth. It makes me sick to think that I watched that stuff with my daughter because I was the example. We give that TV so much power over our lives and our children's lives, it's not even funny. I struggle with what's going on with me and my daughter, and yet and I see so many parents talking about their estranged kids, and their kids don't talk to them anymore, and they blame their kids, and these ungrateful, self-entitled kids. Who raised them? My daughter, with our struggles, I can't sit there and say she's, I was her mom. I failed to raise her knowing God. I failed to instill in her good, godly standards so that when she was attacked, instead I was watching that crap with her. So who's to blame? when my ex died, and yeah, anyway. Yep. So if you really want to know what's influencing the youth today, go check out Netflix. Go check out Netflix originals. Go check out some of these video games they're so into. I hate video games. Totally. Well, that's not true. Sometimes I like to play some of them. Mahjong or whatever, the brain games, not the weird stuff. I remember my ex, he was a big gamer. That was his life. He spent more, yeah, that was his mistress. In many ways, he had a lot of, let me tell you what, these gamers, you can have an affair online just as easily as you can have an affair in the physical sense. So, but I tried to, learn and play with him so I could be part of whatever, and I got pretty good. I actually, Guitar Hero, I loved. I got really good on that. That was weird. But, and then I played some of these, all of the games were violent except Guitar Hero, but then also all the music he had on that was not good either. But, the games were so violent, and so realistic. And this is what so many, not just kids. I mean, he's in his 50s, So it's not just kids. And that's what their minds are absorbing constantly. The attack on the children is no joke. No joke. And it's been going on for centuries. Yeah, I love my kids. I love my grandkids. Even if they choose not to be in my life, I love them and I pray for them every day. And I will not let the enemy cause me to be bitter or hateful or angry or cold towards my children, anybody, my mom, anybody. I choose to love people no matter what, because that's what Christ does with me. Doesn't mean it makes it easy. And sometimes I have to love you from across the yard. Just like with my puppies, man. Oh, I love you, but I don't want to play with you right now. You got poopy paws. They're so cute. Man, God has really been doing so much in my heart. That I've been praying for so long. God, rip out anything in me that doesn't glorify you. Rip out anything in me that causes me to sin. Rip out anything in me that keeps me from being able to forgive. And by the roots, and then cauterize the area so it can't grow back. And I pray that every day. And boy, he's done it. He's doing it. And at first, it felt like my heart was being ripped out. Truly. And then the burning and the cauterizing. Ooh, that was blistering. But you know what? The peace that I am getting, that grows more and more every day, is worth it. The ability to truly pray for my mom and her happiness and have a sense of love for her, that is nothing short than supernatural. Because there was a time when I prayed for her head to blow up. No joke. And that makes me so sick. And I'm so grateful that God had removed that sickness out of me. I don't want her hurt. And that is a beautiful thing to feel. Let me tell you. Beautiful. And that has been something that I have been praying on for so long. So long. And I shared before I woke up, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday. And she was on my mind for some reason. And yet I had such a sense of peace and love for her, like I've never had. And that is God. And I am blessed to have him do that for me. Doesn't mean I don't struggle. Doesn't mean the enemy doesn't try to pull up old memories to pull me back into that pain. And if I'm not careful, he can do it very easily.